Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to phase two video of the harmonic trading plan. All right, so in phase one, we learned how to look for RSI divergence, right? For the sell, for the buy. We also learned about our risk management plan using a compound sheet, right? We learned how to use a 20 to 30 pip stop loss for all of our trades that we take proper assessment and analyze. And then we also understood that we are targeting for take profit one. And then we also learned why we only trade on the 1 and 4 hour, right? That was all encompassed in phase one, right? So now in phase two, what we're going to be identifying is which session you are trading in, right? Second thing is we're only trading the pairs that match these sessions, okay? So Asian session, you're normally looking at AUD pairs, Australian dollars, NZD, New Zealand dollar, or Japanese yen, JPY. These are Asian sessions leading pairs. Okay. For London session, right? For London session, you're looking at Euro and GBPs, right? Then for New York sessions, you're looking at USD based pairs. Okay. Now, when you're trying to trade throughout these sessions, you have to understand the key times, right? You have to understand what key times these sessions are actually active. So Asian session, guys, starts becoming active after about 5 p.m., right? So from about 5 till about 12 a.m. or so is Asian session. From 2 from about 2 a.m. to about 11 a.m. or so is London session. And then New York session starts about 7 a.m. and goes all the way until like 5 p.m. or so. But now, here are the important parts about these sessions. There are kill zones in these sessions to enter a trade. For London session, our kill zones is 2 to 4 a.m. For New York session, our kill zone is 7 to 10 a.m. Okay. For Asian session, our kill zones is between 7 till 10 p.m. if I'm not mistaken. I do not trade too much Asian. I normally stick with London, New York sessions. But for Asian, the kill zones is between 7 to 10 p.m. Okay, between 7 to 10 p.m. If I'm mistaken, I believe that it's like between 6 to 9 p.m., somewhere around there, right? But these are the certain key times to be trading these pairs. Okay, so when you go into your harmonic scanner, and let's say you clicked on H1 here, and for example you have AUD CAD, right? AUD CAD is a pair that you would trade throughout Asian session, right? Euro NZD, right, would be a pair that you trade throughout London session, right? So you would have been looking to make a kill between 2 to 4 a.m. London session for Euro NZD. Now, here's one thing that I really want to point out as well. When it comes to pairs that are like Euro NZD or GBP odd, since these pairs are also connected to Asian pairs, sometimes they can move around Asian time. Okay, sometimes they can move around Asian time, but only when heavy news comes out for that pair that it's going against. Other than that, you should be looking for leading pairs with euros and leading pairs with GBPs to be moving around London session. Okay, you should be seeing them move around London session. NZD USD, notice how we're starting with NZD, so that means it can be found throughout an Asian session and traded in an Asian session. Okay, Could have been traded in around an Asian session, would have popped up. This would have been your entry, your take profit, and you would have been good, right? So that is the importance of identifying which session you are trading in. If you understand your time zone, if you understand how your time zone reacts around these sessions, right? You'll understand what is your preferred session. For example, some people who are in the west side of the world, in California or across the world and somewhere else, it might be easier for them to trade Asian session because on the eastern side of the world, for example, in New York, by the time it's 7 o'clock for us, it's about like 4 o'clock for them in California, for example, right? So Asian session might be easier for them to trade. And then London session might be easier for somebody actually in London to be able to trade because they can wake up in the morning and trade London session in the morning, and they can also trade New York in the afternoon, right? So you have to be very aware of where you are in this world and what time zone you're in. And then you have to be aware the time zones that these sessions start. So I'm going to go over it one more time. Asian session, Asian kill zone, matter of fact, I'm going to go over the kill zone because that's really the importance. Asian kill zone is between 6 to 9 p.m. London session kill zone is between 2 to 4 a.m. New York kill zones is between 7 to 10 a.m. Okay, Asian session kill zone 6 to 9 p.m. London session kill zone 2 to 4 a.m. New York session kill zone 7 to 10 a.m. All right, guys. So I hope you guys learned exactly what these time sessions represent and the importance of these sessions and the importance of looking at the pairs for these sessions, because you really want to have an understanding of what pair you're trading and at what time. Price and time for these pairs truly do matter, right? Whether you're looking at the 1 hour or the 4 hour, if you see one of these trades coming up at a certain time, right, you want to make sure that you're taking them because of the price and the time that it's at. So if it's at a high price at a certain time for that session, we can possibly expect that the high would be formed for that session, and then we could go lower, right? That is how we're looking at these charts, right? The same 4-hour pair for NZD USD showing us that price was low, and then we got into their session, right, for NZD, which was the Asian session. We could have taken this trade at this low and gone for our TP1, and that would have been 53 pips. 53 pips, guys. As quick as that. 53 pips and you would have been done with the market. Okay, guys? So I hope you guys learned a lot of information so far with these 2 videos. The last video, we're going to go over institutional concepts and applying the harmonic scanner.